Okay, that was lame. That one didn't really go that well. But we're live!
Bullshit. There
Hi,
was
guys!
bass on that. There was bass on that one.
She's so ladylike.
Yeah, totally.
Oh, no, she's not.
That
was
wasn't even that good.
fantastic.
Damn it, my first one was better. Hello, guys. Welcome to another episode of Slash Chat Podcast where you are listening to me belching.
While looking like a mogwai.
Dude, I can't.
Or one of those little troll dolls.
Yeah.
We just need to spike her hair up.
A little bit.
Oh, what?
Well, she is the height of a troll. Oh my god, that's funny. You're Ray Talks.
Hey, I got nothing. I can't say anything. Everybody's short to me.
Yeah,
That's
because
true.
you're freaking gigantic.
Oh, thank you.
Well, on that note of things,
This podcast is not about Ray Talks penis.
how's everyone doing?
Doing fine.
What have you guys have been up to this week? Alex?
Okay. Well, trying to look for work as per usual. Making videos. Apparently, I have a second interview tomorrow. We'll see how that goes. It would be great if I get this job because it's close and it's nice and it's my skill level, but we'll see. Continuing to make videos. Put up my Yandere Simulator video, which I'm just
What?
Yandere
What?
Simulator.
I know exactly what that is, but what?
I just almost like I just find this little demo of this game. It's in progress called Yandere Simulator, where he plays a Yandere, which is the people in the chat, if you don't know, it's a psycho anime schoolgirl, like the girl from Future Diary. So I just record myself playing. Is this live? Because it's not.
Yes.
Yeah, we're live.
Okay, because I don't see it. Yeah.
I don't know, I don't feel alive right now.
Why is it offline? What the hell?
It does say currently offline.
What?
You're offline. We're not online right now.
Why are we not online right now?
I don't know. Blame the person whose channel it is. Now
Exited,
it's live.
exited host mode. There you go.
Are we live now?
Looks like it.
I think so. Let's wait. Yes.
Boom.
Yes. I see.
Live.
I see.
Hi, everybody.
Damn it. I
No,
forgot to
now we
exit
are.
host
Now
mode.
we are. Okay.
Damn it. There we
So
go.
is any of all that crap we did before live?
Yes, we are. See it. Okay. I see Panzer Dave. Okay.
Nothing
Where are
beforehand has been live.
I just made the video of me playing it, and it's kind of funny. It's on my channel. Trying to do Let's Play stuff. Reviewing a game right now. Trying to figure out what to do as far as that. And against my better judgment, I started watching The Testament of Sister New Devil. And
Didn't we talk about that one before?
yeah, we did, which is the reason I decided to watch it for some reason.
Ha 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 ha.
I'm like,
Ha ha ha.
they couldn't wait
ha,
5
ha,
minutes
ha.
into the first episode. 5 minutes. That's all it took for them. 5 minutes in, and she's grinding on his dick.
Dude, those the toilet physics was amazing, by the way.
I'm just thinking.
When
like,
he fell onto the toilet moved like appropriately. It was great. Toilet physics.
Oh
so
man!
I'm thinking this, and so I'm
Welcome to the podcast, everybody.
There are two problems with this. First of all, like they have no self-control. No self-control. You just have to bring out the freaking creepy sex thing
Just
5 minutes in.
Just wait for the third episode.
I've just finished the second one. So, oh boy, this will be good.
Like I said, hentai.
The second
Wait,
thing is,
was the second episode the contract?
yes. I mean, I'm just like,
Oh,
God
it
damn
is the second episode. The contract. Oh my god, the contract. Oh my god.
Here's a problem. The thing is, every time they're making some sort of, like romantic relationship, he says, "We're family." And I'm like, do you realize how awkward that sounds? Stop that. This
Yes.
is not Emo.
That's yeah. There's a reason for that, but we don't.
I mean, I know
necessarily go into that
they
here.
aren't family because they're not related. So basically, the whole synopsis is a lie. Second of all, like,
Well, there's a
it's
reason
clear-
for that, because if it wasn't that,
There is
the
no
case-
such thing as coming onto this on the right time.
that is, you're not wrong.
It's true.
But if they didn't put that little caveat in there, it's not legal to be aired.
I mean, eventually, it's clear that there's going to be some sort of like coupling right there, and then like the freaking Rei Ayanami girl comes out of nowhere, like because she's like stoic, emotionless, because people like that, which is not creepy at all. And your anime is going to be a crazy good time when your synopsis includes the word aphrodisiac. Because, like, if you disobey him, you're going to have sex feelings all over you. But mostly in, like...
I like that little quote, sex feelings all over you.
And I mean, I'm just watching this and I'm like, this is really awkward. And then it tries to remind you that there's a plot beyond this.
Yeah.
Which is super awkward. Because it's like, you're really trying to convince us that there's a plot to this anime. It's about magic and shit. And then you just like, and of course the girl's like tsundere as fuck. I mean, god damn it.
Yeah.
It's not like I want to grind against your dick or anything, you dummy.
Hey, Jeremy, what are you looking pissed off at? You're just like,
I'm reading something about Weldon codes, actually.
oh, you're like,
Sorry. The system we use for doing online classes for school had a major screw up last week, so everyone's like a week and a half behind because the instructor thought everything was posted and it wasn't, so I'm trying to get caught up before the deadline of midnight. I should be done in a second, though.
you're
I'm
fine.
still listening.
It was just weird because you had this, like, the expression that was starting to, like, it was soft at first. You were just, like, staring at something, and then it was like, oh my god. So,
Let's just say these codes aren't worded artfully.
gotcha. So, Alex, other than hentai, what have you want?
It wasn't hentai.
It's
and
totally
was.
hentai.
Listen, it wasn't hentai. And
There's
even
no
if
way
it
that
was,
it wasn't.
guess who recommended it to me?
I did.
Yeah, it was her.
Okay, that
he
was not bad.
He was attracted to the boobs first, so you can't blame me
I'm
for being
always-
a weirdo.
Always attracted to the boobs first.
Yes. I mean, I can't argue with that. I really can't.
Like,
Eh.
So other than that, I rented The Evil Within and played it on the PlayStation 4. And holy shit, why did they letterbox that thing so bad? In case you don't know what I mean, when you're playing the game, it's a lot like Resident Evil 4, which is fine by me. But they decide, let's put these black bars on the top and the bottom and make it look
Oh.
cinematic.
Are
Which
you
means
playing this on a console or?
yes, I'm playing this on PS4. I know you can get rid of it on PC.
Okay.
So my character's head is at the bottom of the top black bar, and his feet are at the top of the bottom black bar. And I'm like, I can't see anything. Come on, guys. Why did you think this was a good idea? Everything else about the game's pretty good, except those stupid one-hit kill bullshit. Where like, oh, you missed this trap, explode. You just blow up. Ammo is really low, so it's pretty tense. It's a lot like a zombie movie. I think that's kind of cool. But don't do those one-hit kills. It's just like it's annoying. It's frustrating, and it kind of has some frame rate issues. But I'm trying to capture footage for it and see if I can do it. In the meantime, I'm also reviewing a game, Apotheon, for the website, but that is free on PlayStation Plus, so you can try it out if you want. You have that thing. I'm just trying to desensitize myself from this Testament of Sister New Devil thing that Kat recommends because it's such a freaking awkward anime. And fuck
Next,
this
you
guy
should
in his harem.
next you should watch Horizon in the Middle of Nowhere. Because
That's
giant
the
knockers.
one with the mechs, right?
Kinda.
Because I'm trying to think of like which one was the one with the robots and
There
the
was
boobs,
like one.
not
There's
the
two
magic.
robots like in the beginning, and then like it gets like more robot-y like a little bit later, but mechs aren't the focus at all.
Okay, so it's like Code Geass.
Exactly. Except
Okay.
for giant knockers.
Giant knockers.
Giant knockers! Not just little knockers. Giant knockers.
Those aren't knockers. It's like things you just push out of the way.
Someone said to recommend to watch Stage Love.
What the fuck is that?
Just go watch it. It's good.
Wait, so you clearly know what it is if you want me to watch it.
I do know what it
What
is.
is no, that's
Or
not-
Love Stage. Sorry, Love Stage.
'cause
It
like,
was
what the-
opposite.
Okay, love stage.
Love Stage.
No.
He's like,
I'm like, I'm being set up somewhere, and I'm like, okay, what's this gonna be? It's either gonna be creepy fetish, it's gonna be yaoi, or it's gonna be more porn boob shit.
Almir Meal and Friends podcast. Best place for all your hentai information and needs.
Shut the fuck up, Gabi. Thank you for coming to my stream last night. Though.
Oh, that's
Was that you
awesome.
or Nara? That was Nara. Never mind. I hate you. Next.
Josh,
Yo.
Mr. Josh, what have you been up to?
Oh,
And why were you late to podcast? Oh,
well, I was
He was with a stripper named Destiny. We know that.
not Destiny.
And
We've
cheating
already
on
been
her.
over this,
And cheating on her with a stripper named Dying Light.
which is really fun, by the way. I just got done streaming
Cheating
it.
is fun. You
But
want
this damn thing, like the end of this quest that I finally finished doing, PS4 stopped recording. It was live
recording
on Twitch,
or
Okay.
streaming?
recording.
with
If you
Dying
were-
Light, there's a quest that you can do that essentially you can glitch it. Not glitch it, but like there's loopholes with it. I don't know how far in it is because I was watching someone play it online and watched them do it. But essentially when you get to this NPC who's like, I want to shoot a movie, let's shoot a movie. And he gives you like this assault rifle and has like you kill 60 things or 40 or 60 things or zombies in a matter of time. If you don't complete the quest and it's like, "Oh, you failed, blah blah blah." You can literally do it over and over and over and pick up all the loot. The loot stays. Like all the loot on the ground from you failing stays. So you can get an infinite supply of like alcohol, cigarettes, money, like all sorts of different things that you need as currency in the game.
Mhm.
And you can just sit there and keep going through and failing that mission over and over again. And you get unlimited ammo.
That's fun.
So,
Yeah, that would have been real nice because the nighttime in this is not fun.
no.
This is not fun.
There's Zambies. Zambambos.
Lots of those, except the weird, scary ones that can, track you.
The
and-
28 days later ones.
They're
lightweights.
worse.
Lightweights. We're talking like the la can
Okay.
climb buildings, can knock shit over. I think I saw something the size
Hmm.
of a truck run through a wall once.
Oh,
was bad.
jeez.
It was
Now, was
bad.
that at night or during the day?
Oh, that's night. That's night. During the day, it's like Walking Dead. You can
No.
like,
I've seen
jump
runners.
down on the ground, and they're there, but they only happen if you do stupid shit, like you fall through a wooden roof and make a whole bunch of noise or something.
Yeah, I was gonna
Why?
say I've seen runners. I've seen acid spitters.
Yeah, but they're not. I'm not even that far in, but they
Hashtag cat
eventually.
breaks games.
But they get worse as it goes, and yeah, night is not fun. I mean, it's not like not being good at the game isn't really even a thing. It's just hard to survive. Period. Early on.
Well, a majority of the reception has been pretty good. all things
Oh yeah,
considered.
it's a good game. I'm not saying it's bad at all. I'm just saying it's difficult.
Yeah.
Although I have heard that that it has a big patch.
Oh yeah, that
Right.
just happened.
Okay,
They
well.
might have fixed my quest.
Oh, I didn't know you were playing a Toucat.
She's
No.
not. She's not. She just saw a trick and it like. But yeah, they probably did patch it. I wouldn't be surprised. It was about 1.5 gigs from what I saw, so
Oh,
wouldn't be
jeez.
surprised.
So are you going to be doing another video for that then?
Probably if I can get, like I said, the PS4 to record properly, because it
Okay.
took like 9 hours or like 3 or 4 different tries to finish the end of this one fucking quest, and I got it done right.
Mm-hmm. And then it stopped recording.
Real satisfied. No, it didn't record the whole end part of that. It just didn't happen, and the game auto saves, so it saved that I beat it already, so I can't go back. It's not like Skyrim. Yeah, so kind of pissed.
It's okay. We're here for you.
Like 3 people actually saw it
I
on
will
my
give you
stream,
mannequin
so
hugs.
3 people actually saw it on my stream, so they know it happened.
Well, you can actually take the recording from the stream. Like if you've streamed it,
I did.
go into your archive for Twitch and pull that video.
It archives things automatically.
I told you to click the archive button a long time ago, so you would have it archived.
I didn't ever do stuff.
We'll figure this out.
Eventually.
We'll see. We'll salvage it for you.
Maybe.
It should be in past broadcasts. It should still be in your past broadcasts.
Yeah, they don't delete it automatically.
Neat. The quality was really kind of crappy coming
They
out.
don't. They don't do that until
me.
like 30 days or something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'll get into it. But other than that, not really much. Frustrating work, stuff. That's pretty much been about it.
Mm. Jeremy, how's your coding going?
I stopped doing that because someone sent me a link from the Butcher forums. Jim Butcher, you are a wonderful asshole and we love you. You've given me a headache now. First line of the next book has been revealed.
What is it? What is it?
Hold on. I want to minimize the windows so I can see your facial expressions as I say this. Spoilers for those who don't want to know it. The next book is titled Peace Talks, and the first line is, "My brother ruined a perfectly good run by saying Justine is pregnant."
Oh my God!
Son of a bitch. It's complicating.
Oh my God! She's really...
And the hashtags are hashtag first line, hashtag Peace Talks, hashtag well played.
He's a dick.
Hashtag Jim Butcher is a dick.
What?
That's the dick.
Yeah, actually, I've been spending the last couple of minutes because I was listening to what everyone was saying, but I was also reading through everything going, is this fake? Is he just screwing with everyone? Is he... Nope, this is real. Oh, God, you're an ass.
Wait, I didn't think that was possible. How is that possible?
Magic.
You
When a
don't
guy
remember
and a
the
girl
part
like
where
very much.
brought hors d'oeuvres to the party?
Oh my God.
I meant the
Okay.
whole...
During, again, spoilers, during
Spoilers.
Ghost Story,
Uh-huh.
she was tired of him moping and brought over a friend. And so she and the friend and the friend and Thomas, and then all 3 of them, and then,
Stuff.
yeah. Yeah, Thomas can bang Justine again.
Yes!
There just has to be a side dish every time, because every time the protection comes back,
Yeah.
so there has to be a side dish again.
There you go.
Yay!
So yeah,
Yay!
that will definitely make the people happy who were complaining they didn't get to see Thomas any in the last book.
Yay!
It's satisfying in typical Jim Butcher fashion. Okay, so other than having my head go by reading that, because it means I know I have still probably about another year before I get to read this book, I console myself with Cinder Spires. The first steampunk novel should be out fairly soon. The Aeronauts Win Last. I think he finally got done writing it after his teeth exploded.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Did you know teeth can explode? They can! Yeah, he gives a really funny interview about that. Look it up. Not as funny as the Witch Doctor story. Anyway, what have I been up to? Okay, so aside from that, catching up on stuff at school, starting to expand and build more stuff at the gym. I got to figure out somewhere else to put the parallel bars because the next goal is to put up a warped wall, like from Ninja Warrior. It's only going to be a 12-foot version because, well, that's all our ceilings will handle right now. We'll see about a 16-foot version later. Having a very interesting Shadowrun game
What?
with the bionic troll, the bionic orc.
What?
Talk. Okay, that doesn't quite work. I was trying to make the sound from $50 Million Man.
Shut up. It was good. Just because I made you do math to figure out physics again.
Yeah, like what happens when an orc slams into something running 90 miles an hour. Yeah, that was fun. There'll be a whole recap of that later. But anyway, running game, work, school, more work. Not a whole lot else. I started, this one has been replaying to Elder Scrolls, specifically Skyrim. And I'm having fun with it. I just really wish I could record these because apparently this character has like a plus 20 accuracy to hitting things in the dick. I think I mentioned this trend last time. It has continued. I still keep hitting things in the dick with an arrow, and I'm seriously not aiming for the genital region. I'm aiming for their heads. And I keep hitting, well,
Which head? Because I mean, hey.
the one above the shoulders. But, yeah, that's pretty much it for me. I really haven't had time for a whole lot else. Keep playing a little 7 Days, keep playing some Skyrim. I have Resident Evil Biohazard sitting here on my desktop, and I really want to play it, but I just haven't had the time. About halfway through the cast, I'm going to take some Benadryl because I need to pass out, like, right after 12, so I can get them to go to class tomorrow. Started working on the induction furnace for the school, which should be entertaining. I still think the guy who agreed to that had no clue what I was talking about.
He did.
But that's okay. So, yeah, not a whole lot else. Just trying to get stuff for the gym set up for hopefully an expanding program. I actually now have as many boys in my program as we do on the girls' team. Because we keep losing people from the girls' team, and I keep getting more guys in the program. So I'm probably going to be opening up the parkour free running stuff to girls soon, too. I just have to figure out a way to do it that's not going to, like, immediately draw, like, 3/4 of the team girls away.
Oh.
Because I know at least 3 of them that would do it like that.
Quit yawning.
Can't.
Stop it. Quick, don't think about the game or
Yeah. That was good. Poke you, Alex. I'll poke you.
Yeah, that's pretty much it for me. It's been pretty
What?
You were
uninteresting.
poking me, so I was poking you.
Oh. Oh.
You with your weird hand.
Started work on the metal version of the Codex blades, just minus the blade part. That I will manufacture at another facility, and I will assemble the whole thing, not in the state of PA, because it would be illegal here. There are, however, other states where it's not illegal to assemble such things, so I'll just have to go visit a friend or two to put that together,
You look. Why are you looking at me?
because it's illegal in West Virginia.
Shut up.
Because West Virginia doesn't care about anything.
Have you seen my wall lately? No, they really don't.
It's one of the reasons I kind of miss living there.
Yeah.
I need to make a couple of those.
Motion sick. Blah. But your head's being cut off. You're a floating head.
Stand by for an announcement. Max
There you go.
headrum. None of you are old enough to get that joke.
I do.
I do.
Okay.
One of
It's
you is
kind of
not
an
old enough for
inside
this
joke
one.
with the website. Website, right? For but that's
I was making a reference to a silly show.
no. I mean that silly show is an inside joke with the website.
Hmm,
I know who Max Headroom is. Don't worry.
okay.
So I finished Restateer yesterday. Last night.
Yeah,
this
you've
morning.
been cramming away at that, haven't you?
Mhm.
Oh my gosh, I was just like, I'm finally fucking done with it. And then the story is like, oh no, you're not. You have 150 more floors to go to complete the game. And I'm like, fuck you, I went through the credits. Like, so I may play it if there's nothing else to play, but I'm gonna move on from it because, well, fuck Restateer. So probably more Darksiders. It's my goal tonight is probably more Darksiders.
But you didn't like that game.
It's a hit or miss game because sometimes I'm just like I'm not in the mood to play a hack and slash game, and then other times I'm like, oh my god, I wish I could just play a hack and slash game. So we're not done, Cat. Yes, we are, Panzer. We'll come back to it later. 150 floors to cap. I know. But as someone who has finished Darksiders, I'm on the boss that you have to hit with the train cart thingy.
Oh, so you're like on the second big boss or something like that?
No, really? Is that the second one? He has like the
No, that's
crystal.
not the second because I've gotten a little bit. I've gotten like maybe the second or the third dungeon, and I haven't seen that yet.
I was gonna say because we just went through the train station.
Oh yeah, I've seen that dungeon. I just don't know if I've gotten to the.
And the boss has like a crystal on his stomach, and you have to hit him with
It's
the
a
train
big
cart.
bug guy. So you've
Yeah.
beaten the bat.
I've
which
beaten
is,
the
I think,
bat.
the first one. And then there's this one.
No, there's another one. There was another
What
big
was the other one?
boss. I'm trying to.
How to find it now?
But how what percentage do you think I'm at with that?
Let's see what we got her. But yeah, I've actually beaten that. So you beat Tiamat.
Yes, I did.
Yeah, Griever is the second big boss.
Oh, okay. Because he was
You
like
have-
easy as shit.
Yeah, because you have 1, 2, 3, 3, and then change. You're in the second of 5 big dungeons.
Oh,
Yep. There are mini bosses. You're probably thinking of the mini bosses,
probably.
but yeah, there is a good luck finding Wicked K. He's a fun little hidden boss. He's a skeleton with a suit and a top hat and a little gentleman's cane, and he fences the shit out of he wins. He's a little joke the devs put in. He's really funny. He's in the second game too. If you can beat the arena in that, good luck, because combat's harder in the second one. I love that game.
It's more RPG elemental.
Yeah, you got gear, you got builds, you have
Yeah.
talents, but it's still the same premise. It's more where the first one's more Legend of Zelda. This is more Prince of Persia. There's a lot more wall running. He doesn't actually have a block button. He dodges instead.
Oh, that perfect. I hate blocking.
Yeah,
like
well,
dodging.
it's war, so
Yeah.
you get what you get. And he's really fast comparatively, so it's a lot more twitch reflexes than
I'd probably have more fun with the second one based on that than I will
Probably.
with this one.
the first one's story is way better and pretty much sets up the second. They're going on at the same time, so you don't need to, but the story is pretty much what got me through that. Like if you spend a whole bunch of time forgetting about, the story and all the sweet ass cutscenes and all the comic booky shit that's going on
Right.
with it, you start like the will to play starts draining away because of all the dungeons and the puzzles and stuff. But once you get to like a point where you like something goes down, you're like, ooh, that's why I'm playing this game, right?
Well, it was like the first boss, the bat person. I was slamming my head against that boss for probably about 2 to 3 hours.
Oh yeah, it's old school. You have to beat the boss this way. Figure it out. Die until you do.
Yeah, which I mean, it wasn't bad. It was just like certain things were.
It has to
like,
do this, then you
my-
have to huck bombs at it. Then it
Yeah, like the targeting system for like the bombs throwing was just like it took me a while to get used to, and then like the dodge roll stuff, I was like, oh my gosh, it was like 2+ hours, and when it was done and over with, I swear to God, I almost like got up and ran around the house like cheering.
But that's it. That's the Dark Souls syndrome there, except
Yeah.
this is nowhere near Dark Souls.
Yeah.
But
And it's funny though, because every single time I say Darksiders, someone's like, Dark Souls? And I'm like, no, Darksiders. Dark Souls? And I'm like, no, Darksiders!
You should play Dark Souls.
you'll scream and cry, lots of anger.
Oh,
I will say there's a big reason that you should continue playing, and it will happen not terribly long after this dungeon, because you're one of the horsemen of the apocalypse, right?
Right.
You get your horse.
Yes.
Oh yeah, I've gotten the horse.
Wait, you got
is
the
I got
horse?
farther than I thought.
Ruin is pretty, very
Ruin's
pretty.
freaking metal as shit.
Uh-huh.
I was gonna say, because I just got the,
And you can do stuff while riding it. You can just like, slash shit up and use your weapons. Oh, so
You
awesome.
do way, way, way more damage when you're
I
riding past and you
just
smash
got the, decimation pistol.
Yeah.
Because
That's
there's a
actually an
quote,
interesting side story too.
there's a quote in my bot now because I called it the discrimination. Like, it
Is that like
discriminates
redemption or something?
foes, and I was like, what? No, decimates foes.
Because
racist.
in the first one, you get that. In the second one, you get another. Both of those pistols belong to one of the other horsemen.
Oh.
Yep. Which, now that Darksiders has finally been picked back up by another company, this group, I think they call themselves Nordic Games. They haven't done a whole lot, but they are rehiring a lot of the original people who made the Darksiders series. when
Right.
THQ died. So there hasn't been a lot of word on that, but from what I understand, they are trying to get the gang back together and keep going with it. And it's good because those were fantastic.
Who was supposed to be the third one? Because we have war, we have death.
Okay, so there's
Wrath?
comics, right?
Yeah.
War and Death are the only ones that are actually like as they're written. Normally it's like Famine and Pestilence or whatever.
Yeah.
Mhm.
In the comics in the Darksiders verse, there's the whole other story of what the Horsemen are. It's very comic booky, but it's actually Strife, who is this dude he's got the pistols,
Mm-hmm.
and the other one's called Fury, and it's a chick with a whip.
Oh, right.
He does.
right,
It's not a dude with an eye patch.
not.
Oh,
But
Like by Samuel L. Jackson.
Okay.
I'll take
But,
the girl, sorry.
they were talking about for Darksiders 2 having a 4-player co-op mode.
Yeah, that would
for
have been
multiplayer.
stupid. I'm sorry, that would.
Oh, it would have been fucking awesome, but they didn't have the time to get it the way they wanted to do it, so they just scrapped the whole thing so
Mhm.
they would have a full game to release as opposed to some latched on piece of crap that wasn't going anywhere. And then THQ blew up, so we're all just kind of still waiting to see what happens to war, what happens to death, because spoilers, both of these games end on fucking cliffhangers. We didn't know that already at all.
Who has the copyrights to these? Not Deep Silver. I mean, we might see more Darksiders. I don't see that thing.
Well, like THQ had the copyright. It went under.
Yeah, well,
and
now
they had to sell
who
it off
has
to a game called Nordic Games, I believe.
Oh, so yeah, Nordic has it now. So just like
Okay.
I think they have a De Blob too. So
Yeah, because they sold off all their old rights. THQ is also the company that had all the Warhammer 40K shit.
Mhm.
THQ had a ton of stuff. It was like
They-
this. They had
They
Saints Row.
fucking
They had Saints
squandered
Row.
it. And now there's like
Why did they go under?
Couldn't make any money.
couldn't
And there was like some
bad
license
business
Because they made good
choices.
games with good stories. That's why.
because AAA budgets are pushing out the B games. That's why all those studios close.
Hmm.
It's really
God, I
blame,
wish
like,
Troy the
Activision.
Games was still
blame
around.
Activision, blame EA, blame who's the third one? Ubisoft. Blame them because they're the reason that these things don't exist anymore.
Gotcha.
Blah 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 blah.
I was gonna say, because if they were doing Saints Row, like Saints Row right now has been like selling like mad.
Yeah, it's been doing,
Yeah.
but not as good as Call of Duty.
Right.
Fuck Call of
That's
Duty.
really the situation.
Fuck, it sucks. Oh well.
Yeah, they went bankrupt apparently.
Yeah, they lost all these really good properties, but they just start auctioning them off.
Yeah.
They filed
yeah.
for Chapter 11. So
No, so I'll probably end up going on to Darksiders until I can no longer
Gonna
take
go to the dark
Darksiders.
side.
if
Right?
you can work till you get to the second one, I know you'll like the second one better.
Yeah.
It is a better game. Story
It's just
not
like
as
I
good.
can play it for like maybe 2 hours and then I'm just like, man, I'm exhausted now. Like,
That's what most people play console games, and that's really a console port is what you're playing.
yeah. It's like and that's like I'm gonna have to try and find something that's kind of like Restateer, where it has that actiony but still the downtime with it. So
Skyrim.
huh, 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 huh.
Hey,
Maybe.
load up on mods, and it's fun. It never stops being fun because you can just do whatever the fuck you want.
Oh no, I might save like the Elder Scrolls for when online goes free to play.
I was gonna say
When is that happening, by the way? I was going to ask that.
summer.
Yeah.
I forget
Damn
when,
it.
but it's sometime in the summer.
Yep. But no, I'm trying to think. Other than Rested here finishing, it's pretty much been chill, relaxed. Did another episode of O-Talk last night. Wasn't too bad. We rant and raved about Bleach. Like, well, actually, I didn't. I played Devil's Advocate while Dan sat and rant and raved about Bleach and how awful the writer is and whatever and so on and so forth.
I
But
used to like Bleach too. It isn't
Like-
terrible, but it wore on me.
I
yeah,
just
like
think it's hilarious for what I did to the show.
what?
I just think it's hilarious because I laugh every time I hear the name of the show because of something I did to somebody once that involved that show.
Oh, right.
Something that will not
Right.
be discussed on air.
No. No.
Let's just say I played a funny prank on somebody and leave it at that.
It was
But
pretty
yeah.
funny. It was pretty funny.
But no. Other than that, it's been anime. And I'll go straight into this week's anime stuff.
Cool.
Um,
Well, I have a little bit of anime news. I think we need to start off saying the creator of Ruby died.
yeah.
Yeah, that super duper sad.
That
there.
was 33
Monty
years old.
Ohm.
Monty Ohm from Rooster Teeth passed away due to medical complications. It says it was an allergic reaction during a medical procedure, left him in a coma. But he died last week.
He
Yep.
died. It was like yesterday, I think.
This was.
This was
I mean,
yesterday.
Everyone was just pouring out support, and people from Rooster Teeth. You got like Gavin, like Michael Jones, like Michael's wife Lindsay, who also works at Rooster Teeth. All
Yeah.
these people are just
Even Crunchyroll even like took.
Oh
like,
yeah,
a-
I saw that. And I'm like, of course Crunchyroll would do it because they host Ruby on their site. I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, guys,
I bet
great
they knew
artist.
him really close.
They did. They were like, if you like, they were on. If you watched the podcast with them, they are like best friends and coworkers. They're like we are. It was heavy. Like guys, like 33, and
Yeah.
he's one of the few people that I've really ever seen that has the creative ability to do crazy stuff like that. I mean, he created a world, and it's independent. It's not backed by anybody except their own, stuff, and they have more fans than big animes and movies and stuff. It became huge, and so few people actually have both the skill to pull something like that off and the actual gumption to go out and do it. And if nothing else has to be said about him, I'll say that he created stuff and awesome stuff the whole of his life.
Mm-hmm.
And nobody's going to forget that. And that's awesome. So,
Yeah, I imagine it's probably gonna be a while till this whole situation like calms down, because
Yeah, I'm not
even
expecting any update on the series for a while because they need to completely reevaluate the entire direction of the show, and that's after everyone is done mourning. So
yeah, it's gonna be a while. It's gonna be a long while. I would actually have to say.
yeah. They
But no,
really-
it's unfortunate. It really is. Shit happens, and life goes on.
yeah.
But I feel so bad going into my first topic now.
It's
Oh.
it's
no, we
how
just
it
need to
is.
address that first, just because.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so I still haven't watched anything of Tokyo Ghoul.
Neither have I. I need to, but I
Except for
haven't.
episode 1. However, I've been keeping up with Death Parade like no one's business. Episode 4 is out, and it's gotten good. Episode 3 is hit or miss. It's one of those episodes where you're just like, why is it now? Like, it should have been later. Why is it now? Because like the tone of the anime changes, like the whole tone of it just like up and changes. And then it's like episode 4 comes back and it's like, okay, we're back on track now. So it was really weird. Log Horizon, we're getting into so much filler, it's ridiculous.
I like the new girl, the girl who, as it turns out, looked like Shirley for a reason.
Yeah, because I actually like. Here's the thing I like about that whole situation of that looks alike. It really plays on the fact that it's an MMO.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
But this is something that kind of bothers me about it's kind of how the second season is progressing. We're starting to get into the idea of how the MMO became this other world, this real world. So things like people, like NPCs, like computer programs programmed to farm for experience are now people. And so it's kind of getting a little bit complicated. So like this new character kind of sort of reinforces this idea that they're trying to make people out of other things, and it's a little disorienting to me. That being said, Roy 2 is freaking funny because it's also interesting because Roy 2 is not Shiroi.
No.
So
But
little bit-
the
little
reason
bit
it really shows that it's an MMO is because in all MMOs, when you hit the end game, like when you get into like the big dungeons, the raid content, which is what like the uppers of Log Horizon, the Tea Party, like they were doing the big end raids and stuff like that. And it's like, okay, you truly see that like people can have the same gear. And with our MMOs, you walk in and it's like, oh, I know what you're wearing, I know what you're wearing, I know what you're wearing. Because you see it and everyone's wearing the same gear. And that's like what happened with Ro. It's like Ro 2, she ended up getting into that whatever raid it is that Shiro like was in and has the same outfit as Shiro because of that raid. And I thought that was really interesting because you're gonna really see the fact that it's MMO. Like it really is. It has that MMO feel. Not every character has this exact equipment or this identical equipment.
Everybody isn't unique.
Right.
One thing you'll notice in animes is everybody has unique clothes. no girl will have the same hair as another
No,
one
I mean,
because
do you
that's how you
know,
identify
know
them.
who Roy 2 is?
No, I haven't even gotten that far yet.
You don't know who Roy 2 is. Who she actually is. She was hinted about this earlier.
I have not caught up yet.
Well, this wasn't this see, this is what happened with me. I'm like, okay, who is this character? I'm trying to remember who this character is supposed to be, and I go on the wiki for it, and then everything's revealed.
I was gonna say, isn't this the character transfer?
For everyone who has watched Log Horizon, this is who Roy 2 is. Shure talked about earlier in the series that he made a second character.
Right.
Roy 2 is the new world version of this character he made on the side. So it's his character, but it's not him. It is his second character.
His second account.
His second account essentially, but now it's its own thing, and that's why it looks like Shiro, because in a way it's him, but it's not him. That's why I'm kind of thrown off by how they're
That
turning
is a little weird.
the world, these
That's kind of interesting.
the
though.
non-people and turning them into people. That's how I kind of got thrown off by the XP farming program, who is this stoic robotic maid girl.
Yeah,
And
because she's a bot.
she's not even robotic, but it's getting into like stuff from the Matrix, like how programs are people.
Yeah, that's an interesting. It just seems
Programs are people too.
in a way it makes sense, but there's just this something about it that just kind of throws me off. Like they're trying to explain these things in weird ways.
If they're doing this right, there's something going on we don't actually know about yet that is made.
That's the thing.
Everything
They're digging
sentient.
this hole deeper and deeper and deeper.
Mm-hmm.
There's got to be something that's
probably, if they're doing it right, there probably is, or they're doing what Lost did and they're just coming up with shit.
Oh, I hope it's not like Lost,
I
because I swear
know.
they made that up as they went.
I don't think it is, because they've gone out of their way. They're going to start off with NPCs, just your regular NPCs. Oh, those are people now? The audience has finally accepted that. Okay, now let's get into some of the bigger stuff, like what's his face that's going around with the other party, that Guardian guy who is a program. And then you had that
Tune
weird...
in, realize the conversation is spoiling something. Oops. It's not technically not spoiling. Technically not.
Not really, because this information was revealed, was teased early on. This is something that the thing is what happened. Shirley was talking about a second character that he did, and then while the narration is going on, you see the silhouette of a character that looks like him.
It's in the opening.
Oh yeah, but that really doesn't explain who it is. But yeah, I'm like, so now I know why I'm like, why does that girl look like Shirley? I'm like, right. Oh, now I know.
Yeah.
Oh, that's gonna get weird, isn't it? That's gonna get weird. It's gonna
fan fictions are already being written.
Yeah, I was gonna say
sure. It takes like what, 15 minutes, something like that.
I like that she's a vampire though. That's kind of cool.
But yeah, haven't watched any of it yet. Oh. Well, then everything we say is a spoiler. I feel like.
Well, yeah, we're not accommodating that. We've told you over and over again how good it is. If you're not going to watch it, that's your problem.
Hell, it just hasn't gotten to it yet. I can't not have spoilers.
Yeah. Well, Alex, what do we have briefly on video games? Because that was like my big thing was Log Horizon.
I'm glad we talked about that, because Log Horizon it's just getting more complicated, but for some reason it's not getting too complicated. It still feels like it's in a comfortable zone. We'll start things off with and there are some new Humble bundles that came out. This is I am completely don't care about this one, but one of them is Star Wars Humble Bundle. I could give a shit about Star Wars, but here's what you get. Base package, if you just get $1 at least for Steam keys, or less if you don't want Steam keys, you get Knights of the Old Republic, Jedi Knight, Jedi Academy, and Dark Forces. I do not know what Dark Forces is. That's beyond my time.
It's a shooter. It's a first-person shooter.
If you pay more than the average of $11.16 right now, which is a high average, you get Star Wars Battlefront 2, KOTOR 2 Sith Lords, Republic Commando, and more are on the way, along with the first 3. And if you pay 12 or more, you get all those games, and you get Empire at War Gold Pack, which I think is that RTS game.
Yeah.
Force Unleashed 1 and 2. So if you like Star Wars, get on that. I don't give a shit about Star Wars, so I'm going to pass on that. There is the weekly bundle that has like Nihil Umbra if you like being depressed. And there's a Cartoon
Hey, by the
Network
way,
Archie.
I'm gonna give a shout out because the Humble Bundle that has the weekly Humble Bundle has Unepic. It has Unepic in it, and for those of you who are the Embraced who are in my chat channel right now, you know what I'm about to say. An amazing person named Jack Lafere has worked on Unepic. That is his game. That is his baby. He's worked on it with one other person, as far as I know. I'm just saying what I know. But yes, Unepic is a game that I personally know the person who was
For reals? That's cool.
in it and does it and blah blah blah, and yes. So if you have not picked it up, I would suggest paying the $10 to get Unepic, because Unepic is truly just epic. You get other games with it. As being someone who's played Nihil Umbra, it is a very depressing game, but I would say the $10 for Unepic. Go support Jack Lafere. He is an awesome dude. Now we have the Embrace lights. Yay! Hi, Embraced. But yeah. No. I had to, seeing that you did the weekly bundle, I had to give a shout out
Well,
to Jack for
like
that.
I know like one game developer. Well, not really like personally, but the guy who made Social Justice Warriors Non-Decimal, he's still promoting my video on his channel, and it's still at the top. Like, it's above Jim Sterling. So I'm like, holy shit, man! I can't believe that you're doing this for me.
He was community manager.
And good for him. His Social Justice Warriors has been pending for so long, and it finally got greenlit, because finally these journalist websites are starting to cover it. And I'm like, guys, this is funny. It's showing you that internet arguments are pointless. That's the whole concept of this entire game. It's a pointless thing. You're fighting against people who you don't know about things that no one cares about. So, and for a while there was rumor of Metal Gear Rising 2. I say for a while because what happened is that Sony was doing this highlight reel at the Taipei Game Show this last week, and they were showing all these games, all these PlayStation 4 games, and there's this part where they're like counting down, and when they get to the number 2, you see a number 2 on the screen for a split second, but the number 2 is in the same text and color as the logo for Metal Gear Rising Revengeance. And of course, me and a bunch of other people, like, I saw this on another site. I'm like, are they making a sequel to Metal Gear Rising? Please say they're making a sequel to Metal Gear Rising.
Half-Life 3
Oh my God,
confirmed.
make a sequel to that. So of course,
Can't count to 3.
well, I reported on this. A lot of other people, just as rumor, because this it's really like it. I mean, it can't be a coincidence. But then another bit of information came out from Jeff Keighley, the video game awards guy, and he said that he talked to a guy who worked at Hideo Kojima's studio, and he said that that's not happening. Now, normally that's like, okay, that closed the door, god damn it. But apparently some people are saying that there was a history that anytime something like that happens and Jeff Keighley counts it out, the thing is eventually revealed at one of Jeff Keighley's award shows. So basically, this could just be Jeff Keighley saying, no, it's not. And then he's just going to reveal the game himself at one of his award shows. And that very well could happen. And of course, this is a Kojima universe. And he is the biggest motherfucking troll in the entire game industry. He has a constant shit-eating grin on his face. He's like, all the time. I mean, he makes great games, but he's a troll. And if you played Metal Gear Solid,
any of his games, he's a troll.
Any of the Metal Gear Solid games, you'll know that he's a troll. If you played PT, you'll know he's a troll. Because PT had one of the most cryptic and uninterpretable solutions people still don't know the solution of that game. They solve it by complete accident because he's that insane. So it's just kind of, a lot of people have been playing Dying Light. Not too much new has been going on as far as games. Final Fantasy creator Sakaguchi is going to receive a Lifetime Achievement Award for his work in the industry for being a mature storyteller.
Interesting.
Which is he's if you don't Hironobu Sakaguchi is the guy who made Final Fantasy, Kingdom Hearts, Chrono Trigger. He made the last story. He makes all these really iconic RPGs, and he's finally getting some props for it. The irony is that Final Fantasy was originally going to be Squaresoft's last game. That's why it was called Final Fantasy. Here's another little bit of news. Borderlands 3 is happening.
What?
Take-Two announced today that Borderlands 3 is confirmed, but it's only going to be current gen, which means it's going to be on PlayStation 4 and Xbox One and PC. It's not going to be on
all I want to hear is PC.
Of course they put it on PC. A lot of people play it on PC. So we'll see how that'll go about, because Borderlands is crazy fun. We'll see how well it goes. It seems that Dying Light is doing pretty well as far as sales and playing, because a lot of people are playing it. Club Nintendo released some new stuff, nothing too big. Now they did announce, there was some announcements of a Sonic Runners, which is going to be a mobile game in the Sonic the Hedgehog series, and it's whatever, will be free to play apparently.
So they need to stop doing big licensed games on mobile, things like that, because right now, remember how we were talking about how THQ died?
Yeah.
Games Workshop has literally hoarded out the Warhammer 40k license to everybody who will even care about it. So
Square hoard out Final Fantasy. All the Bravest was a debacle.
All that I'm seeing now, I saw this trailer for something and it looked like really cinematic, really cool, like all these guys, and then it pans out and it's a bunch of people arranged on pretty much a chessboard, and it's a turn-based piece of shit.
Although I actually heard that there was a Hitman mobile game, and it actually was good. Total Biscuit loved it, and I trust him. I mean, some people hate Total Biscuit for no reason. I swear.
Why?
They think that, like, I don't know. For some
He's
reason,
funny.
they think that, like, he's a racist or something, even though he's done nothing of the sort. If anything, he's because. Oh yeah, that actually reminds me of something else that happened that he kind of talked about on his podcast, The Co-Optional. Apparently there's an all-female esports team that was banning gay female members.
What?
Huh.
And transgender female members. And of course, that's bullshit. For two reasons. First of all, that's being a bigot. Second of all, since when did your gender really make you a better player? Does making you gay somehow give you an unfair advantage?
Let's say yes. Let's just say yes.
Well, either way, they shouldn't have done that. So I have a feeling that that's going to come back to bite that esports management, of course.
Yeah.
Considering if we were like 10 years ago, no, not at all. Now, that shit don't fly. That shit don't fly anymore. We've evolved as a people, and we don't put up with that shit.
But we have gotten to the point that porn sites have started sponsoring esport teams.
That'll work. Sure.
Ooh.
Why not?
I forget who it is. And
I still don't see why we have separate genders in esports, because I don't think that the physical differences in esports really matters.
Yeah, like finger control, like really? Come on.
I don't think that there is a significant difference in physical capabilities of a male esports player and a female, but that's just me.
Yeah.
And I'll round out the games that apparently Bandai Namco has been trademarking a ton of stuff, which means that they are going to be localizing a lot of games outside of Japan, including Sword Art Online Lost Song for the PlayStation 3 and Vita if you like Sword Art Online, which if you do, you're wrong because it's not good anymore. It was good for one half of a series. And this
First
is the
season.
one that takes place in the fairyland. So, and of course, like I'm with Angriest Pat. The second half of the first series was a war crime.
Pizza.
Pizza.
His creepy sister, who's not his sister, but acts like his sister, and is close enough to his sister to make things
I
creepy.
don't want to be wrong. What?
Just like frickin' Testament of New Sister New.
Devil.
It's a
one,
thing.
yeah.
It's a thing. Deal with it.
They need to stop that. It's
Japanese
making
guys
this-
wants to hump their sisters. It's how it works.
Hey, she humped him, which is weird because
That's what the Japanese guys want.
She doesn't act like that throughout the rest of the series. The rest of the series, she's all tsundere, but in the first 5 minutes, she's grinding on his dick. I'm watching this and I'm cringing, but already.
But you can't take
the
your
other
eyes
games-
away.
The other games that are being the trademarks are implying that they are going to be released in North America and Europe. In Europe, you're probably going to get a JoJo's Bizarre Adventure game, which is a series that I should probably watch because everyone says it's amazing. And Idol Master, which I looked up and looks stupid. It looks stupid. Is going to come to Europe. Now there was another trademark for something called Lost Reavers, but no one can figure out what that's for. So it could be some other anime series that no one knows about. Who knows? And I just brought this up because Bandai Namco has been doing a lot of localization, and everyone loves them for it. They announced they're going to make the One Piece Dynasty Warriors kind of game where you just, so you play as the different One Piece characters.
Really?
And then they are localizing J-Star's Victory Versus Plus.
Wait,
is a
the
game.
One Piece Dynasty Warriors is already a game.
Yeah, this is the third one. This is One Piece Pirate
Oh.
Warriors 3. But
Whoa.
J-Star's Victory Versus Plus is a big deal because that's the Shonen Jump crossover fighting game that no one thought would ever come about because all of these different anime games are owned by different companies. But
Interesting.
that's the reason the Jump Ultimate Stars for the DS never came over, which is why I had to import it. But J-Star's Victory, no one thought that would ever be localized. But Namco Bandai is saying, hey, we'll localize it for you because we know you want it. So they're being very friendly to all the stupid, nerdy Japan folk who like Japan, like me, because I'm a weeb. Weeboos like me. I play Yandere Simulator. That's why every time I post something on Tumblr that has to do with anime, I give it the tag
Think
Weeboo
you're
shit.
broken.
I play Yandere Simulator. It was so good. I can't even.
Why is Josh dying?
He's crying because he thinks Yandere Simulator is funny.
The fact that you very angrily proclaimed that you were playing it was.
It's okay. You get to kill girls and then drag their bodies around. And of course, it's an
I
anime
can't
game,
even-
so there's upskirt shots. Watch
I
my
can't
video.
even.
It's fun. I had a fun time. Here, I'll give you people in the chat a link to the free demo. It's a free demo. Come on, you can try it yourself.
So
There you
Josh,
go,
what's our TV and movie?
Here you go, Twitch. Have fun.
TV and movie situation. Since I was literally forgot the podcast was happening and I just played Dying Light right up until the buzzer, that's why it was like 2 minutes later or something. We don't have a whole lot going on as far as TV and movies. I think the next thing that's coming out is that Jupiter Ascending film, which that's in like 3 days. Yeah, that's this weekend. It looks like new sci-fi.
Seventh Son, is it what it's called?
No, Seventh Son is another one that's coming out. That's like a fantasy thing.
It looks good.
It looks interesting. It also was delayed way the fuck back because the trailer was out like more than a year ago. and nothing happened with it. But Jupiter Ascending looks like it's some new sci-fi series. The special effects are really cool. The cast makes it seem like it's kind of Twilighty, but it's not. I assume there's actually some form of story to this.
Hopefully.
Yep. It looks cool. I mean, the fights look really cool. There's like dragon people and shit, and it's like there's a whole like I guess intergalactic society that's got this whole sci-fi shit going on. Earth just has no idea about it, and apparently a royal bloodline crops up on Earth, and oh, by the way, we're taking interest in it now. Guess what? Shit's real. Like ship fights over New York City, and it actually looks like an epic film with how much money they're dumping on it. So I don't know anything about this externally. I don't know if this is like based on a book. It might be, but it looks like it's going to be a fun, like blockbuster ride for an oddly timed one, at least. Like Kat said, was that Seventh Son is going to be a thing. What else is going on? Oh yeah, unfortunately, Valentine's Day, 50 Shades of Grey happens. Nobody's excited for that.
Who cares? Like,
Thank you, but
the people who are like freaking out about it are the people who aren't going to watch it. Everyone else is just, and the people who do want to watch it are just locked in their rooms with the lights dimmed very slowly. With a bottle of lotion right next to them as they hold a book in their quiver.
Ironically, the same day that comes out, Kingsman comes out, which is hilarious.
Oh,
everybody here needs to
want
see
to go
it.
see Kingsman.
It looks hilarious. It's like British secret agent crap, but they're all dapper and shit. And some they pull in some like young punk rap kid whose dad was in it and he wasn't like a part of it or whatever. And they pull him in, and then he like starts to have a big character arc, and it looks like it'll actually be a decent, really funny film. It's very British humor, tongue in cheek. Looks good. Yeah, they were talking about doing a Teen Titans show. Hang on, I had a thing on this because I have a comic book friend that lives downstairs.
Really, you had a whole thing.
A whole thing.
Well,
Not just
no, I have
part of a
text
thing, a whole thing.
on it. I only have a text on it.
I guess Andy was squealing
I
about
can
it.
find it. There it is. So apparently,
Are you
the
being yelled at by
roster for this
Andy?
Teen Titans show that they're doing. They're doing a live action show for a Teen Titans show.
Wait, this is live action?
Yeah, it is live action. So
Like the original Teen Titans or the re-changed where they change? I don't know.
Roster is going to have Robin and Raven. So those are the ones that, Kat gives a fuck about. Anyways.
Yep.
Hawk and Dove are in there. Starfire's in there. Barbara Gordon is everything, is pretty much Oracle and everything except name. And as far as I understand, that's pretty much Teen Titans. Thank you.
So I guess they couldn't afford the CG for Cyborg and Beast Boy.
You can make prosthetics for that shit. I mean, but who knows? I don't know if that's actually even valid because Raven's in it and bullshit magic.
Why don't they have the original 5 from the cartoon?
Because the ones from the cartoon wasn't actually the original ones.
Well, I don't care. Those are the ones that everyone knows.
Yeah, that's
Who
the
cares? I'm
argument.
not going to watch this anyway. So
That's the argument that I would actually make. But
what's so great about Raven? She's like hates her dad or something.
Yeah, your dad's pretty much the devil. That's why.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Distraught
that's
look on her face.
Like Satan.
Pretty much. It's the DC equivalent.
Is she gonna look like she did in Injustice, where she looks like a weirdo now?
That is adult. So
yeah, probably.
I don't think so.
I love when they have the Teen Titans as adults. So it's like, but they're not.
They're doing their own. They're doing their own thing. Shit. Cyborg got into Justice League, I believe.
Really? I don't
Oh,
know.
yeah.
I don't-
Yeah.
Ooh,
um,
an interesting
DC
question.
characters need more flaws. There was a guy on Twitter who kind of said that
Not
if you look
wrong.
at the difference between Marvel and DC have noticeably less human qualities.
That's an
Except for
interesting
Batman.
question in chat, though. If you wanted to see a new game come out, what kind of genre would you want it to be, and what would you want it to be about? I'm hoping to one day publish a popular game. Could you give me an idea?
Batman has inhuman levels of emo. Okay, what was the question? Is new game, what genre? Well,
What would you want it to be about?
like about or the genre?
Both.
Both.
Well, the situation with that is like sticking to a single genre is easier, but you can always mix them up.
The only problem I have with that question is the fact that every genre and every game has pretty much already been released.
Take like turn-based spaceships dating sim.
I'm sure it could be done. I mean, they made what was that
Faster
thing
than
floating
light?
around?
That's not a dating sim.
There was that thing floating around Steam for a while that was like a visual novel dating thing, except it was pigeons.
Yeah,
That's
Hatoful
Hatoful
It
Boyfriend,
was
right?
making fun of
Yeah.
the genre, but like for example,
Hatoful Boyfriend.
one of the more popular games going on right now. Just got done playing it. This is a mashup genre.
Yeah.
It's
like
rerunning
Mirror's Edge cross Dead Island.
that is the best way I can.
Mirror's
even put
Edge was good.
it. Mirror's Edge.
First person strategy. That's actually kind of interesting. First
The-
person strategy.
The only
Dude,
time
that'd
I've
be
ever
it.
seen
That would be
anything
cool.
like
Good call,
that.
Gabi. That's nice.
The only time I've ever seen any first-person strategy stuff were the few first-person games where you actually had a team and you could give them orders.
Like Full Spectrum Warrior.
Ironically, the best one I saw with that was a real shitty old Star Wars game. If everyone remembers, Republic Commando was on the original Xbox.
Yeah, that's in the Humble Bundle.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
in the Humble Bundle.
It plays a lot like
Yeah,
it
you're a
reminds you
SWAT,
more of
you're like-
Halo and shit like that, except it's Star Wars vibed, and you're 4 fucking commandos going around. You have different like paint on your stuff, so you're more identifiable or whatever. Everybody's got like a specialization. You have this guy go knock this thing down, the other dude
Like
throws a
Rainbow
grenade in
Six.
the door.
I mean, that's
A
kind
lot
of like
like-
what Rainbow Six
Yeah.
was.
It kind of matched like a Halo style play and Rainbow Six's squad based stuff. But again, we're back to mixing genres here.
Mm-hmm.
I
It's
think that
hard to
you
come
know,
up with brand new ideas.
as
anymore.
far as like just what it would be about, that you can be whatever you want. I mean, there's no there's really no limit there. It really just comes down to you can make a story about you can just play like a catfish.
The only thing that I also have to comment on with the whole to publish a popular title, like I hate when people kind of go, oh, I wanted to kill this franchise, or I want to kill this genre, or I want to
You're
be
not
the
gonna do
next so and so.
Oh my god, no, Goji. No.
Cat and Friends podcast dating sim.
You guys
Um,
don't want to delve into my dating life. It's a horror movie.
It's a horror.
It's worse than this. Worse.
But
Two
yeah,
of you
because
know.
then you get into that point where it's like,
You
what is
shouldn't be making a game solely to beat another game.
game? Yeah, like if it's popular, you're gonna always have people of select genres that are gonna think something's popular, and it's like I had a rant with Dan last night about Bleach, and he was like, oh, it's popular, and I'm like, or it's not popular anymore, people don't like it, blah blah blah, the fans hate it, and I'm like, there's 10,000 people on this website that would say different. That's still money. That's still 10,000 like dollars, say $1 per person. Manga's how much, DVDs is how much, merchandise is how much. They're still making money off of it. It might
They
not be
made
as
a
much.
goddamned musical. A live
reals?
action live
Dancing
action
Queen Donnies.
on stage Bleach musical.
The
It's
situation. the thing is-
Hilarious. And
But yeah,
look
so-
it up on YouTube. Do it.
What would we consider
We,
as
Look up the-
we
popular?
need to
Look up-
stage this. We need to stage a production of this.
Look up the manly dance. That's all I have to say. Look up the manly dance. It's fucking hilarious. Kenpachi teaches somebody how to be manly. That's all you
Oh,
need to know.
jeez.
Kenpachi.
But yeah,
He's
like
my hero. That's the
Well-
other guy I want to be when I grow up.
what is considered popular? Like you can't
Dude,
really.
how much tall are you planning on getting? You're already 6.5 feet tall. How exactly big are you growing up to?
Slash chat dating sim, emphasis on the slash.
Keep that to yourself.
No. No.
I just turned down your stupid yaoi suggestion.
Dibs on the
Why in the world
kangaroo.
would that be asked?
Dibs on the kangaroo.
But what we're trying to say is that the games that are original are the games that really aren't catering to anyone.
Right.
They are fueled by a desire to do something different. Like
Yeah.
Yep.
And they usually don't become popular. Like,
That's really the thing.
MMO we used to play, Secret World.
Yeah.
Great idea.
Most of the things I loved about it are things that the majority of people hated about it.
Because you
It
couldn't be
was a puzzle
stupid
game.
and play it.
You had to think. Like, some of the things you had to know freaking Morse code to solve the damn puzzles. People didn't like that. I like that there were no character classes. You know,
Yeah.
a lot of people didn't like that part.
usually innovations in games are usually extremely subtle.
Mhm.
That's why, Persona was subtle because it uses the idea of different character traits, which eventually make your.
I want to create a horror game that gives people night terrors. That would be my night terrors, not nausea terrors. Because I was trying to play Shadows of Chernobyl again the other day, and I'm like, great game. I want to get into this so bad. Oh God, is there any way to kill this motion bot? It's making me motion sick.
Right.
Nice.
I think that mixing genres, you can get there.
So what have you been doing over there, Almir?
Why
Playing with
is that you're sticky again?
What have you been doing that you're sticky?
Yeah, she's been busy. It's like in the stupid anime. She did it 9 times,
Oh my god.
and she's cleaning up a
Hey,
wet
she's
spot
cleaning
on
the floor.
9 times.
Man, I wouldn't really know the difference between you guys watching the show and an actual hentai.
And it was a huge
I don't know.
puddle. Like,
There shouldn't be such a gleam in your eyes, sir, as you say.
and why is that girl doing it? That girl's weird. She's like one of those characters in the other, like Okami-san, like the little younger girl who's egging on the older girl. It's like, oh, I bet you like him. Like that girl. But I digress.
Uh-huh.
I don't know. Anime games can be innovative, I guess. Persona was. Waifu Wars. That's what Persona is. Waifu.
Wait for what?
Like, you need to choose
What
your
just
side.
happened?
You need to choose your side.
I don't know, but I feel like
Bobby
my
knows
ears
this
are
because he stopped and they've stopped
There
by.
is none, Josh. There is none. What?
I don't know what he's actually referencing. It'll probably be great. But
I don't know.
Waifu Wars.
short answer here is if you make a game, make it because you love it and because you want to make it, not so it'll be popular. Because if you try and make a popular game, it won't be. And if you stumble on gold, then congrats. But we
Right.
can't, nobody can tell you. Honestly, make a great horror game. That's my vote. Make something that'll actually scare the piss out of me and I'll play the shit out of that.
Don't
doing
make
it.
one of those stupid hold the phone camera in front of you first person indie games that everyone makes.
I just
Yeah,
died
it was
like
cool
6
the first time with
It's
Fatal
fine.
Frame. After that, it kind of got old.
Yeah, the Fatal
If
Frame.
you don't know
games
what Fatal
really-
Frame is, screw you for being younger than me.
Fatal Frame is like, what system did that first come out on? I know you can get the
Wasn't that
original.
the regular
X.
PlayStation?
Oh, I don't know. Let's find out.
I'm tired of indie horror. They need to fix themselves instead
We
of
totally jumped off of
Jump
movies
Scare
and
Simulator
real
2000.
hard.
That's fine.
That is totally fun. I didn't actually have very much else. The other stuff I've already talked about. What was Daredevil is April, and that's the only other recent thing that's
Is
coming
there
out that we should
anything
care about.
new on a TV? Anything interesting?
Anything worthwhile? on
Constantine's
TV?
still going. That's all that matters.
I don't.
We're
care.
Black Sails had
Good.
their season debut
Are they
last
back now?
week.
Sweet.
Vikings.
I just finished season 2 of Vikings. Finally, holy shit! The ending was awesome. Was so happy, so happy.
Hi Shiva.
That was the last time that I've actually had a really, really feel good season finale.
The Blood Eagle.
PlayStation 2.
That too.
Oh,
PS2.
that makes sense.
Actually,
Yeah, it's about
PlayStation
the era.
2 and Xbox.
Interesting. Oh yeah, Nick Cage is doing shit again.
Oh God.
He just has to be in the shittiest movies ever.
It is a shitty movie. It's
I
called
just love
Outcast.
that joke that they make
It's in
on
it's
Conan.
it's Nick Cage in a movie called Outcast. It's a samurai movie with Nick Cage in it for whatever fucking reason.
Could be worse. Could be Tom Cruise. Oh wait, they already did that. Sorry, I was taking my contacts out and I didn't figure everyone wanted to watch that.
It would be fun. But
Watch me
yeah,
taking my contacts out.
so Nicolas Cage samurai movie. It's called Outcast. There's trailers. Oh yeah, was another thing. Not too long ago, they put out a season 5 trailer for Game of Thrones.
Uh-huh.
It was cool. I mean, I just haven't talked about that since then. I'm sure most people have seen it since our last podcast, but it's out there if you haven't. Check it out. A whole bunch of shit going on. Short man's got a beard. That's pretty much all you need to know.
No, I don't.
You ain't that short.
Yeah, you're not that.
5.5 feet tall, dude. That's pretty short.
You're not Tyrion short.
Oh.
You couldn't grow a beard if you wanted to. I don't know if you want to.
I don't really want to. I tried growing a mustache and a goatee both at different points, and well, you know, this is about a day and a half to 2 days of me not shaving.
So Jeremy, you have 25 and a half minutes.
Especially since I just took that Benadryl. Okay, so the Shadowrun table.
Oh god.
There's been some interesting shuffling around lately because one of the players basically decided to blow all of us off. So her character was taken over temporarily by a very large dude.
Which was
It was really
hilarious.
It was a female dwarf. It turned into a male dwarf,
Dwarf.
because he played by a male dwarf,
Dwarf.
except he was a giant. He
Yeah.
had the beard though. It was awesome.
Yeah. So it was really entertaining. It was one of those awkward times because the game had kind of been split up into 2 sessions. Right now, they're still getting used to the game for the most part, except for Raytog, and this was the first one he'd really been at. They spend about the first whole gaming session planning, and then the second whole gaming session executing whatever the mission is.
We're not the
Um,
only ones.
Hmm?
We are definitely not the only table that does that.
I know, but the table I was with, usually we just did a marathon, like 8-hour gaming session and got it all done in one. Mostly because we had situations where people wouldn't be able to make it, and it made things weird, awkward, and we've already encountered that twice now. You know, once with the one guy who wasn't there for the first session, and now the girl who wasn't there for the second session. So I'm hoping we get to the point where it's more we do it all in one go, so that there's less opportunity for that kind of thing to happen. But
I might be bringing reinforcements for this one.
yeah, that reminds me. Tell Andy the way weapon foci work. You'll be able to write this down. It's simple.
I was gonna say, just go get Andy. Andy!
Whatever level the weapon focus is, add that many dice every time you use it. And instead of being willpower M damage to spirits and other things, it does whatever the damage code for the weapon is. So instead of punching everything with your will, you can actually hit them with a freaking sword, and it will do the damage like the sword is like, what, strength plus 3M? You know, so it does more damage, it's easier to stage up, and you can use it as a focus. Especially if you cheese it out and you take your centering skill, that will add more dice. In, say, Kendo, and your weapon focus is a katana, so your centering exercise is Nado Draw, which also kind of doubles as the follow-up attack. So, you know, you can have some fun with that. But that's essentially how weapon foci work. Also, they work on things that are purely astral, if you can see the astral. And wards and shit like that. So basically, it works on things normally you wouldn't be able to affect it at all, or you'd only be able to affect it with just straight willpower. So anyway, back to the subject of the run. Essentially, I have a team of mostly metahumans. For those that aren't familiar with Shadowrun, you don't just have humans running around in the cyberpunk world, you have elves, dwarves, trolls, and orcs, and other various things, but I'm not letting anyone play any of those, at least not yet. So, they're referred to as metahumans. They're basically your standard fantasy races. The elves are a little taller than normal humans, they're slender, they're quicker, they're more charismatic. Orcs aren't quite as pretty as people, but they're bigger, stronger, they can take more of a hit. Trolls are just insanely large, and they actually have a +1 reach bonus, so they're kind of fun to play for melee characters. Anyway, there is a group called the Humanus Poly Club. Basically take the KKK, Nazis, and Fred Phelps, roll them all into one, and give them... That's the Humanus Poly Club.
And a bunch of things that aren't actually human to hate and try and kill.
Yeah, they don't care what color your skin is. They just care whether or not you're human, elf, dwarf, whatever. And I use them as a foil a lot of times in my games because, one, very few people have a problem killing Nazis. And two, most of my players usually end up playing either magically active or metahuman characters, or both. And Humanus hates both of those things. So it kind of makes sense for the Johnson, the guy who hires you, to pick a primarily metahuman group to go after Humanus Poly. So they're breaking into this guy's mansion. And it went fairly how you would expect, was, correct me if I make any mistakes, Tog and Almir at the front door.
Yeah.
We're at the front door.
The front door.
Kenny's character and the character that ended up having two different players playing the same person at the back door. Yes, there were comments made about
The back door.
character's player enjoying the back door. So the first few seconds, they try to kick open the doors. Tog basically knocks it off its hinges. The other character doesn't manage to knock the door open.
It's really going to be a blow-by-blow recap, isn't it?
Yeah, pretty much, because I got enough time. I'm going to make it entertaining, though, or I'm going to try to. So they kick in the doors, they go in, and they start searching. And the people who come in the first door, they come in this big, expansive area, and Tog smash. Again, for those of you who have played, say, D&D, but haven't played Shadowrun, everyone in this game comes with Great Cleave automatically installed. And I gave Josh a Nodachi.
I hit good.
Yeah. Let's see, you cut the first guy in half, disemboweled the second one. What happened to the third guy? Oh yeah, arm off.
I remember.
Got his arm chopped off.
Shit got crazy.
And then the fourth one,
It's the thing of, I try and find a way to interpret like how many boxes of damage and how much overflow damage they take as how badly did you hurt this person. And so the first one was literally he took out all of his hit points, all of his overflow, so you just cut him the hell in half. The second guy was
GM should
out.
take note because not many people actually bother to sit down and be like, okay, this is exactly what you did. No, he did. They stopped worrying about it. No, this shit is fun.
I like to be thorough, which may not help.
It's bad.
you
It's
guys,
bad. It's
maybe.
bad in VTM and everything else. But
I still have my flowchart. Oh, that'd be a funny story sometime. Anyway, so they get in the front door, they go upstairs, and they start searching room by room. I'm going to come back to the back door group soon. We'll go with the people who went in the front first. So they go up the stairs, and this is a house that's built to take some punishment, so, he's got to kick through this door, too.
Don't forget where I was.
I'm getting to that, because you haven't gotten in the backpack yet. He kicks in the door so hard that it does light wounds to everyone on the other side of the door, except for one guy
Wow.
that it did a moderate wound to.
Who was the one right behind the door about to
Apparently,
open
he
the
got
door?
hit in the head with the doorknob. At this point, Kat's character uses her action to ride Raytog bareback, and by that I mean she climbed up on his back and was like a backpack mage.
It's handy.
Because she is, of course, playing a cat shaman, which means she takes target number penalties if she gets dirty.
Yep.
And after what happens next, let's see.
I was at a +4 by the end of the night.
There
She
were
had
5
fun.
guys on the other side of this door. He killed all but one of them before they got a chance to do anything. Just cleave, cleave, cleave. And I use the term cleave rather literal because I think the first 2 or 3 literally like cut in half, decapitated, disemboweled. Didn't really manage to do much to the last one because your target numbers keep going up for every next target. And so, you know, he had to wait until his next turn to chop that guy in half. So they're now on the 2nd floor where, unbeknownst to them, their target is, and so they're proceeding down the hallway. Meanwhile, downstairs, they kill the 2 guys who are security guards / lifeguards, who are wearing what amount to armored wetsuits and have blocks. They just, let's see. One of them took an arrow to the eye. And the next one, Kenny hit with a fireball. That didn't quite kill him. However, the ammo in his gun cooking off and blowing off his hand did manage to do that last point of damage, and he fell on the ground twitching and started bleeding out. They then proceeded into the kitchen, where they encountered some of the help. I never intend for this to happen,
No.
No.
but every time someone encounters like a housemaid, it ends up being Consuelo from Family Guy.
Oh,
I don't intend for this to happen, but somehow or another, someone at the
No.
table makes the joke, no.
No.
And it didn't help that she's screaming, no, because she just heard,
it was
you
bad.
know, 2 guys get massacred, and then a guy with a fireball in his hand, and another guy with, you know, a compound bow and a giant axe busts into the room.
Is that you, Con?
Hmm?
I think
God!
I think Con's in the chat.
Running joke.
Virtua Muser.
Anyway,
Funny man.
the funny man. Tell me your joke. Anyway,
Funny man.
so they find out from her that where the guy is, they radio up. And so they start trying to get into the room where the computer terminals and stuff are so they can get the security feeds, they can get financial data, all that fun stuff. Because everything's about money in Shadowrun. So they bust in, and the dude's there with the guys upstairs, these 2. I don't know where your boxes are because I don't have enough hamsters in my computer to run everything. They bust into the door, and the guy just unloads with full auto.
You forgot my
But,
rocket.
oh yeah,
My rocket moment.
the one guy that he didn't manage to kill out in the hallway. I forgot about this. Thank you for reminding me. This is fucking hilarious.
My rocket moment.
Shh, let me tell it. He didn't manage to kill the guy, so on her turn, she's clinging to his back. She's like a willowy little elf with a body of 1, and this is a gigantic orc with a body of, what, 10, 11, something stupid like that. So she pops up over the back with a heavy pistol and goes, pew! And kneecaps him. And we decided that she was Rocket Raccoon and he was Groot in this moment.
It was
Yep.
kind of a lot like that.
Yeah.
Yep. And I had
So
my
I told
bullet
him
barrier
he has to
up.
practice saying, I am Tog, over and over again about 1,000 different ways, because apparently that's how much Vin Diesel had to practice it.
I think Diesel could play Tog.
How much he had to say it into the microphone.
I think
Anyway,
he could pull it off. He's too
so
short.
busts into the room. Tog would have actually gotten pretty torn up from that, except Almir had a bullet barrier up, which doesn't block anything except bullets. which is good since he's attacking with blades. So it doesn't block his weapon. It doesn't block Raytog's weapon, but it blocks the dude that they're trying to kill. And so between that and his own body armor, he didn't really take... You didn't take any damage from that, did you? Okay, good. I didn't think you did.
We rocked out.
And then he proceeded to, like, pin the guy to the desk and perform a blood eagle.
She bound him, I believe.
Oh,
I
no,
was gonna
you
say,
bound,
I
you
bound
bound
him.
You bound him with a spell, and then Tog...
Yeah.
Didn't you accidentally rip his lungs all the way out? And kill him,
Yeah.
though?
Yeah!
Yeah, you did a little too much damage for him to survive long enough to bleed horribly to death. He did,
Oh,
however,
no, he
fail
bled
his...
horribly to death.
Well, yes, he just did a little
Just
quicker than
because
you
there
would
were jets.
like. Uh-huh. Which
And
got
then-
on her.
And this is where I took my first +2.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And the reason she was clinging to his back the whole time is so she didn't have to touch the ground with all the gore and fecal
There's
matter
that.
and brains and everything else. So he failed. The dude they were trying to kill failed his willpower check, so he screamed like a little bitch as he was dying, which all got recorded. Which the guys downstairs, who came in the back door, were in the process of getting into the room to get that information. They got the rigger and the decker to, disconnect their data jacks and start helping with the information as the final number of guards from the facility start coming in. And they're holding, the two downstairs are shielding the rigger and the decker. Rigger is a guy who plugs a data jack in here and controls drones and stuff, or security systems. Decker plugs in here and hacks into the Matrix. Matrix style. Although Shadowrun's older. Gibson's stuff is even older that mentions the Matrix. You should look it up. It's a good read. Anyway. So they're standing there, they're trying to hold that door. And, well, Tog has this piece of cyberware called an adrenaline pump. Think of it as an insta-berserker, and if you get too excited, it goes off whether you want it to or not. Now, it does increase all your strength, speed, reactions, all that fun stuff. However, it does kind of send you into a little bit of a berserker rage, more or less, depending on the character. In his character's case, more. And so I wish we had that music to play that you did with your video.
Ha! Ha!
So
That
right
was
about then,
okay. Funny story with that is Secret World stuff. The little classical music.
Mhm,
Yeah, that was Vivaldi.
mhm.
And then it went into this.
So, that's why I love Secret World. The puzzles are so... Anyway, different rant. So, Tog's adrenal pump kicks in, and I had to do math to figure out how fast he was running. Because it's your quickness times a multiplier times roll your initiative and find out how many turns you get. And basically what it worked out to is he ended up running at roughly 90 miles an hour. We can rebuild him stronger, faster, better than he was before. No, really. Because how the hell do you survive that?
And keep in mind, I'm still on his back.
Yeah, she's strapped to his back. At this point, we remembered that he was carrying around an LMG, and she kind of conveniently failed a dexterity check and got tangled in the cords. Otherwise, she would not have been able to hold on. As he accelerates from 0 to 90 in about 3 seconds, runs across the entire house,
This character's
through
bullshit.
several rooms, through a door.
2 doors. It was 2 doors.
No, there was only one that was shut.
Oh,
One of them was
right.
already open for you. Because the security room was in between the two of them.
Okay, yeah, that's right.
So you had to go through the door on this side. The door on this side was open because they went through that to get to the decker and the rigger.
Yep.
And so here's the door that these guys are trying to get into. And they just hear this. As Raytog smashes into them at 90 miles an
per
hour. They did not survive, tragically.
I am not
They
embarrassed
needed
to say.
to roll in Shadowrun you roll 6 sides, or at least the edition we play, you rolled 6 sides dice. Every
No,
time
it's
it rolls a
still all
6, you
six.
pick it up and re-roll it and add it. So if you roll a 6, re-roll it, it's 4. That's actually a 10. Okay, so that's how you get numbers larger than 6. Even with their body armor, they needed to roll 16s.
And I'm not embarrassed to say that my character had completely wet themselves.
Although I do have to say that was probably the only check that you absolutely had to make this whole game was the one to get the fuck off my back before I hit the wall.
Yeah.
And you made it.
Yeah.
Yeah, tuck and roll.
Into the gore,
So
which probably slid and was hilarious.
Yeah, I can't imagine my character, like,
he
after that
did
point.
so much overflow damage to them. They would have each needed to get, it was either 6 or 8 16s to have a chance to not bleed out.
What the fuck, man? Character- This is bullshit. This is really bullshit.
See, this is one thing I both love and loathe about second edition. I love that you can have moments like this. It kind of breaks the realism a little bit, but
So it
it's
turns us
just,
into a nonsense superhero game. That's really
it
what it
still
does.
makes it fun.
Oh, it's fun. Yeah, but
Because at this point, no one at the table can talk because they're all laughing too hard. And this is not the first time I've had to make calculations like this with Raytog. See the dumpster?
it's not.
See
It was
the
there. It was,
Flaming head through the window. And then there was the flaming corpse off the pole arm that did enough overflow damage to the car to make it blow up. The armored limo.
there's nothing wrong with stereotypes. Leave
Right,
me alone.
Christopher Walken. You know, I actually encountered someone who hadn't heard that joke, what's the opposite of Christopher Walken, the other day.
Christopher Reeves.
He about pooped himself when I told him the punchline. He's like, that's so wrong! As he's literally head back, mouth completely open, laughing.
Care evil.
Don't care, evil! So, yeah. Originally what they were supposed to do was just go in and kill this guy, maybe get some proof of it, send a little bit of a message.
Yeah, that last part worked out.
Yeah, definitely. So you guys actually got a little bit of extra XP because of that, because that was one hell of a message.
Tug's back in town.
Yeah.
It was probably a couple of years since that last bit that happened with the dumpster.
Not really. It was probably about 6 to 8 months. Because remember, that campaign started off in 2052 as well. I actually need to sit down and figuring out how much time has gone by since we started and everything. Because the next one is going to take... The next one's going to involve a little fast forwarding here and there because I'm going to send you guys on a Merc mission. Probably either to Asland or Amazonia. I haven't decided which yet. Because we haven't gotten to play with para-animals much yet, and we have 2 mages in the party. Well, a shaman and a fire adept. So, close enough. And it sounds like we might have a physical adept soon, too. So,
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
yeah, phys ads with weapon foci are stupid. Because phys ads' magic power is they add dice to their skill. Weapon foci add dice to your skill. So it is not without the realm of possibility of having a starting phys ad that can roll 15, 18 dice, not counting combat pool, to hit you with a freaking sword.
Yeah.
It's bad. It's bad.
Yeah. You're playing with your ears, aren't you?
Those things are weird. Those are totally
They are
not,
really weird.
they're
You look
totally
like a
not cat
Kitsune.
ears.
You are a Katsune. That's what
I'm
you
a
are. You are a
Katsune.
Katsune.
Aw, that's it. That's the thing.
Katsune. So that was pretty much the recap of Shadowrun.
Yep.
It was hilarious.
I'm sorry. I'm
Um,
really sorry.
no, it's okay. We'll get to the serious runs a little bit later on. I just got, as we were starting to play, our Fire Elemental Adept player, I think, is more used to D&D, which is a lot more kill him with a sword than Shadowrun is sometimes, which is fine. It just means he's probably looking for something a little different than the Shadowrun games I typically try to run.
Yeah.
So we'll do at least some missions that are very combat oriented, but in the next one will definitely be combat oriented, and the research you'll have to do will involve sneaking around and making perception checks. It won't involve a lot of contacts and resources and shit. The one after that will be back to the sneaky, and then we'll probably have a couple smashies, and then another sneaky. And then maybe a vampire or werewolf game thrown in there somewhere for fun.
Oh,
I want to.
Although it won't be a LARP one, so
I was like, you gonna
you
throw?
can still dress up,
I
Cat.
thought you were gonna throw a vampire at us in Shadowrun.
Oh.
I was
Not
like,
yet. I
ah.
had a reputation. Well, technically, I already have.
I haven't forgotten. So
The guy who owns the nightclub is not human.
Oh right.
He hasn't been human in a really long time. And you
Connor.
don't want to piss that man off.
Connor.
When I first started playing Shadowrun, my first game was a first edition game.
What are-
Back then, things were really broken. And
Do you have an itch, Alex?
I had
Or
a
do
character
you
that
enjoy
was
whipping
a
yourself?
vampire and also a mage, which meant starting out in Shadowrun, one of the character creation methods is priorities, A, B, C, D, E, and different priorities have different numbers and everything. Well, my A and my B went to race and magic. And my last one went to resources. So I started off with almost no skills, almost no attributes, almost nothing. But vampires are broken a little bit. Vampire mages are pretty broken, and in first edition, they are completely broken. In D&D, you cast a spell, and you only have a certain number of spells of that level or that type in a day. In Shadowrun, each time you cast a spell, you have to try and soak a certain amount of mental damage from the spell. And if you can, you don't take any penalties, you can keep casting. You can keep casting until you pass the hell out. Well, in later editions, they realized that making vampires regenerate drain is a little broken because the way regeneration works is all damage disappears at the beginning of their turn. So, Hellblast, pass out. I'm back, Hellblast, pass out. I'm back, Hellblast, pass out. Back! You know. And there are a lot of limitations to vampires, like they don't like sunlight, they have a vulnerability to wood, but when you can write your own spells, like Wood Barrier, alleviate severe allergy, sunlight.
vulnerability to wood. Eh.
Yeah, he didn't like the back door.
I didn't either.
But anyway, that character started off kind of stupidly broken. After you've played Shadowrun to the point where you have like 200 XP, that would be kind of like playing a D&D character until it was about level 40.
Yeah.
But it started off as something broken like a lich. Okay, so it got to the point where I took out not a great dragon, but a regular, just adult Western dragon in one round by myself. And I went, okay, time to retire this guy. So he has just
Yep.
sort of become an NPC that helps get new players started.
So
Because
Connor.
So if any of them are dumb enough to attack him or anything in his nightclub, they find out why it's a bad idea. One of the things I love the most about Shadowrun, when you get like a level 20 or whatever thing in D&D, really low level things can't even hit you. They can't hurt you no matter how hard they try. In Shadowrun, some punk with a knife can take out the highest level runner if the runner makes a mistake, if the kid gets lucky, or if you just happen to have pissed off the wrong entity. Because spirits have this fun little power called accident.
That makes
For
sense.
those of you that have read Dresden Files, there is something in the Dresden Files that is very similar to the accident power. It was in, which book was it with the sorceress porn stars?
Blood Rites?
Yeah, that one.
Or no, Death Masks. Death Masks.
No, it was Blood Rights.
It was Blood Rites?
Hey, we got Alex back. Sorcerer's Born Stars.
Hi, Alex.
But where someone
Joking, man.
cast in the books, they call it an entropy curse on him. And they're in the middle of a fight in a parking lot, and suddenly a frozen turkey that apparently fell out of a jet or something just falls out of nowhere, hits one of the vampires they're fighting, just flattens it. Dresden just looks around and goes, "Hermetics trick anvils!" And then they get back to fighting. And that's pretty much how the accident power works. You just keep getting hit with accident after accident. It might be a telephone pole falls over. It might be a dead bird falls out of the sky.
I want to try and hit a target on the ground with a frozen turkey from like way up. I just want to see what it would do.
Have a good one. See you later.
But yeah, Shadowrun is a very fun game.
We'll never play nice. Puh.
Yeah. So if anyone has any things about gaming or anything they want to ask, feel free. As far as book series go, I just finished rereading something called Steelheart and
Speaking of
Firefight. They're a book series by Brandon Sanderson, sorry. I do recommend those as well as the Alloy of Law and the Mistborn trilogy.
Speaking of books that we're getting into, go figure.
Huh.
That looks kind of like an Olmec head.
It's Stan Nicholas, and it's a trilogy, but it's really interesting, and it's pretty much right up my alley. So it's one of those things that flips the whole fantasy thing on its head. You deal with evil, and they might not actually be evil.
Are they legit like fantasy orcs though?
Oh yeah.
Huh.
But they has an adventure.
You're not that kind of orc.
But it's good.
You need to say that at least once. Whenever we're playing.
No. Warcraft can go die somewhere else that isn't around me.
It's right up his boat.
I don't sound like Yoda. Do I?
Instead of right up your alley, it's right up your boat.
Leave my boats out of this.
Oh, we're getting towards the end.
Yep.
I am too cool for social media, though.
I like that's your out.
Apparently, that is
Too
my
cool
out.
for social media.
Although I'll be having some stuff up hopefully within the next couple of months, dealing with the gym, trying to get some Kickstarter stuff going with that, and hopefully at some point doing some videos. I might need to borrow somebody's computer or something. I don't know. I'll figure something out. But I have to go because I have to be up in like 6 hours.
Yeah,
go
we'll
run
do a
bunch
quick
of
wrap
crap.
up.
So
Wait,
bye-bye,
don't-
everyone.
don't-
Is it going to screw up the layout if I leave?
Yes! Don't you dare. We're about to like quit in like 5 minutes. You can sit for 5 minutes.
I'm tempted to leave now just to mess up the layout.
That face.
I'm not going to, but it's tempting.
I was gonna say, go ahead.
And this was it
Okay.
like somebody
Thank
hit the
you.
theme from The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly.
Yeah, it really did. So, you can find all of our information down below. Down below.
Near the back door.
Information. So, Alex, Mondays.
Mondays,
Persona.
I guess 7:30 Eastern and 6:30 Central. I'm playing Persona 4. Watch me play and watch me try to challenge the waifu wars. Pick your faction, and I will tell you that you're wrong. Unless it's Yukiko or Rise. I can't decide which one I want yet. Either of those two, I still need to decide. I'm not at Rise yet, so I'm Team Yukiko right now. I'm getting there. I mean, I'm about a level 3 or 4 on her side.
It's just that you're doing it so straight faced.
Right?
For a
Hey,
bit, I'm like, this
sorry.
dude could be
I'm
legit.
sorry, but this is serious business.
Okay.
Waifu Wars
So-
is serious business.
So, Mondays, 7:30 Eastern Standard Time or Central
7:30
Time?
Eastern, 6:30 Central.
Central. Okay. And then we have Tog, who's been doing more YouTubes with Dying Light
And probably some more Dying Light right after this.
and streams, which are you don't have a schedule for your streams, you just
Oh,
stream
no.
randomly.
I don't get enough people. You guys.
Yeah. So
I do what I
then-
want. When you see me on, you can watch it or not.
Right. I'm sticking to my normal schedule of Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, 1 a.m. till 5 or 6, whichever one, and then Thursday and Friday, 4 to 8. It's always in the very early morning Eastern Standard Time, so 4 a.m. till 8 a.m.
Serious business.
Always early morning. You can have your cup of coffee and join me. And then Jeremy's not doing anything. But
Yeah, unfortunately.
He's killing zombies in his own way. That's what counts.
don't get enough people for a schedule. Think that might have something to do with not having a schedule, question mark. So yeah, I will see you guys back here in roughly an hour. I think we're gonna probably continue on with a little bit more Darksiders, maybe go through my list and see if there's anything else I want to play tonight. But yeah. We've had an amazing podcast today, and we shall see you guys for Slash Chat Tuesday next week. 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here. So, have a good night, guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
We all windmill.